Hey everybody, it's Jodi Franklin here. Thanks so much for joining us. I thought I'd bring on some of my colleagues today. These are other practitioners who are rocking their businesses with functional medicine training. So I'm gonna go ahead and start right in. I wanna keep this short and sweet and let you guys get on with your days, but I'd like each of you to introduce yourselves. So Dainna, why don't you go first?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Dainna Pearlman, and my company is Rockstar Health Coaching and 5x5 Health. And we meet with clients all over the world. It's a 100% virtual practice, and we love it. We love what we do. We get up every morning loving life and loving functional medicine. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for including me.
Yeah, it's so great to have you on. And I will say that Dainna also, her name of her business is Rockstar Health Coaching. She actually has some celebrity rock star clients, which I think is really exciting too. Shay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Great, thanks Jodi. I'm Shay, Klomp Beuters, crazy Dutch last name, and I'm based actually in the Netherlands. I'm an American that moved for love to the Netherlands, and I have a health coaching practice, Contagiously Healthy, and I've been doing it for about, I'm going into my 4th year, so that's me.
And what about you, Jen?
Yeah, I am based out of Eastern Pennsylvania, but predominantly my practice is virtual as well. My practice is keeping it real. And yeah, over the years, more and more, my clientele has spread throughout the country. I even have a couple international clients right now, and it's a blessing. It's a real blessing to be able to meet with people and serve them virtually. So I love what I do.
That's exciting. That you have the international. It's kind of funny. I wonder how people find us sometimes, because I've had several international clients and it's like, how did you hear about me? And it's like, well, somebody forwarded me this video that you did, or this, or your website or something like that. It's just pretty amazing. So that's fantastic.
Word of mouth feels like something, right? All of our international stuff comes from word of mouth, I think.
Definitely. And I will say that's a great segue to my first question is, I think incorporating functional medicine into my practice has enabled me to get 100% word of mouth business. I don't do any advertising. I don't do any funneling. I'm afraid to send newsletters sometimes because, you know, it's like put them on the wait list if they want to work with me. Dainna, tell us how you are incorporating functional medicine into your practice and how it's changed your practice.
Well, I was thinking about the question, and I have to say, I don't know that I'm incorporating it into my practice. I feel like it truly is what my practice is. It is the foundation of the work that we do. It's completely based in functional medicine. So every touch point is interwoven around the concept of functional medicine, about root cause, about empowering the client. That's functional medicine. So yeah, it's because I did originally work with people face to face, and it was word of mouth in my community. One client making a great strategic partnership with my local chiropractor. And it started that way, but then, like I said, just from the onset, it was functional medicine based, and just having it explode after that.
Amazing. Great for you. How about you, Shay?
Yeah, for me, I just to give a little bit of my background. So I went to IIN first, and so I was doing health coaching, and that was really the basis of it. And I was kind of struggling a couple years into my business, and I was like, I think I need to start applying for something new because this is not working. And then I came across AFM, and I joined. Like, I think I was one of the last people probably to join for September 2018. And paid full price, and it was so well worth it. It was a game changer for me personally and professionally. So as far as implementing it into my practice, I think similar, like it's really using it for all my clients. And September 2018, the first 2 months I actually used it on myself, and within 2 months I put my own asthma into remission, which was confirmed by my lung doctor, who gave me a high five and asked me what I did. So that was really empowering for me. So just the confidence that I got in being a part of the School of Applied Functional Medicine, SAFM, was incredible, and the support as well. And then, yeah, I dared to, in January 2019, kind of throw it out there, and inspired by you, Jodi, actually. I think you had mentioned one time that you like just offer half price and try to, you know, start applying your learnings. And so I did that. And I offered 3 people, but 5 people actually joined, which was incredible. And I was like, I'm going to do it. So let's do this. And seeing the results with them was incredible. And really, again, working within my scope of practice as a health coach, because that is my scope of practice. And I think that's something that SAFM teaches so well, to work within your scope of practice. And it's really the education. I'm not prescribing anything. I'm not working outside of my scope of practice. I'm educating, I'm inspiring, I'm empowering, and that is incredible. And I'm maybe going a little bit ahead of myself, but I just want to share one of my favorite cases was a 7-year-old little boy who, his mother actually came to me and was really stressed because he had severe asthma and the list of allergies was growing. Like that year they had to throw out their Christmas tree, which was something new, and he was starting to be allergic to apples and pears, and it was just, she was really frustrated, and she had heard that I had put my asthma in remission, so she thought, okay, maybe I try this. And with, I mean, the beauty of kids as well is the changes, you know, and you're working with the parents because they're implementing the changes, but within a couple months, when they're children in the Netherlands, they have to have a lung scan every, I think, 6 months. So after working together 2 months, he went and had a lung scan, and his doctor said, what are you doing? I've never seen his lungs so clean. This is amazing. He went off from 5 medications down to 1, no more night sweats. He was sleeping through the night. I mean, just incredible changes. He had more energy than he'd ever had. Even his grandparents are like, what did you guys do? Like, this is incredible. So really, he was able to actually touch animals again. He was allergic to pet dander. He couldn't be around animals, and they booked a vacation to Italy, and they got there and there was cats all over the place. And the parents went, oh no, we normally like check this ahead of time. And she's like, you know what? I really trust where he is and what we've done. And they went, and he was able to pet a cat. He now wants a cat. So just incredible things. Like, and that's, again, I did not prescribe anything, no supplements. Like, it was really, it's nutrition and lifestyle changes, and really looking at his unique needs. And that's what, you know, we drilled down on, and really incredible changes. And they had worked with a dietitian, they'd worked with a nutritionist, they had done different things and tried everything. And the doctor was so impressed, they actually did a nut, he was severely allergic to nuts, had anaphylactic shock, and they actually did a nut reintroduction. And that went well. There was no swelling of the tongue, no GI issue, nothing. That was September, and we started working together in February. So amazing. I love it.
What a great story. And I know we were just talking about this before, that, you know, when you can learn something like that and learn just about any health condition, how to put it into remission, it is so empowering. And I think that our confidence really comes through when we've dealt with this before, and we can deal with it again. And asthma, I mean, just about any condition can be put into remission. I remember I had one client whose boy couldn't even play hockey anymore, couldn't breathe. I think I showed the interview on this page if anyone wants to search it, but you know, everybody's blown away by it now. He's off 3 medications, including prednisone, from what we've learned at the school. And that's just one thing. I mean, there's so many things you're going to learn, like how to put autoimmune diseases into remission, and gastrointestinal issues, and any kind of chronic health issue, chronic pain, migraines, acid reflux, you know, hormone issues, thyroid, adrenal. I mean, it's so exciting to have that skill set and be able to help people overcome just about anything that comes to you. It's just amazing. So thanks for sharing that. What about you, Jen? Tell us maybe what, go ahead. What's been the great, how you're incorporating it?
Sure. Well, I actually want to concur with what Dainna said, in that it's not necessarily how I'm using functional medicine. Functional medicine is the lens that I look through. So, you know, for those of you who are watching us and even wondering, like, what the heck is that lens? Like, what are you talking about when you're talking about functional medicine? You know, functional medicine really strives to look at the body as a whole, and look for all of the different interconnectedness within that body and that being, and then get underneath what that person is presenting with. So people will come, and they'll come to us. I mean, they might come simply, you know, this is a health coach community that we're speaking to, with what they think is simply just weight loss resistance. They want to lose weight. They don't know why they can't drop the weight. They're trying all the things, right? So that is just a symptom. So we, in looking through that lens, see that as one of the symptoms. And then we look for root causes. So what else is going on and getting underneath that. So the way I use it in my practice, or the way I kind of just, this is the way I practice, is I look at each and every individual that comes to me as like this puzzle, right? Like we're all a puzzle. We might be a 5,000 piece puzzle, a 500 piece puzzle. We can all relate to that today because we're probably all doing actual puzzles, right? Like we're all at home and we're puzzle piecing. And I was doing a puzzle the other day with my family, and I was thinking, I'm like, and I started telling them, I'm sure my teenagers love this, but I'm like, this is what mommy does for a living. I take people's puzzle pieces and I dump them out on the table, and we shift them around, and we look for connections, we look for the edges, we start to work on. So when someone comes to me, you know, I do a very, very extensive intake form, and then we have an initial session where we sit down and we really start dumping those puzzle pieces out and looking for those connections. And it's the lens that I look through. And I mean, it's not just their diet. I mean, of course, that is incredibly important. It's not just their exercise program important, you know, but it's the joy they have in their life, stress, past traumas, you know, how is their digestive system functioning? Is it not functioning well? And why? You know, everything that I do with my clients is always asking why. And I mean, I really, really strive, just like, you know, the other women here have shared, to educate. You know, I think that's incredibly important. Number one, we're health coaches, so we're not medical physicians. So it's not our job to diagnose. It's not our job to prescribe, but we can really, really empower our clients with this education and explain to them, like, here is what is the dynamic that may be going on in your body. I want my clients to understand that. If I make a recommendation, whether it's dietary, lifestyle, supplements, you name it, I want them to know why, because I want them to own it. Like I want them to completely own what they're doing so that they transform their health, so that when they move past their time with me, then they are empowered. Like they take charge. They're the driver of their own health, right? So I love what I do, and I love that I'm able to do this because I too went to IIN. I'm not speaking poorly of the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, for those of you who don't know what that school is. But after a while of coaching just the basics, not that we don't need basics. All of us here might get pretty complex sometimes, but we still need basics. I was feeling very frustrated myself in my inability to help clients who were more complex, right? I didn't understand why their weight wasn't budging. I didn't understand truly how to turn around insulin resistance or help someone's thyroid be able to function optimally when it wasn't. I didn't get the different nutrients that were involved in that process and why were they nutrient deprived. So when I found SAFM and started studying applied functional medicine, I very, very, very quickly was able to help my clients do this puzzle piecing and get underneath, address root cause. And like all of you are saying, it's almost like magical sometimes because, you know, our human bodies are not meant to be sick and you know, broken and not functioning optimally. So we just fit those puzzle pieces together. We just help them. That's all we're doing, is helping them do that process. So there's my why I obviously love what I do, and I love the education that I've acquired to be able to help me do what I do.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
It's hard to get us to stop talking about it. Like
I know.
everybody watching this should understand that we love what we do.
Yeah.
Amen. Absolutely.
100%. Mm-hmm.
And I will also say, I love it that you brought up that the health history is very different. I mean, one of the things when I was transitioning from from IIN, I also went there to SAFM. One of my very first clients I had, you know, I talked to her about the basics, which are obviously very important. We talked about eating more vegetables, and she said to me, oh my gosh, she says, I have chronic diarrhea. I've had it for 40 years. She said, I can't eat more vegetables. I said, oh boy. And I said, well, let's talk about your sleep. She says, oh, I have a rash all over my body and I have acid reflux so bad I can barely lie down at night. I haven't been getting any sleep. And I was like, okay, what about exercise? Let's talk about exercise. And she says, well, she says, I have such bad fibromyalgia. I can barely cross my legs, let alone go for a walk. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, how about eating less sugar? Let's talk about sugar. And she's like, well, I'm type 2 diabetic and I find it really hard to cut back on sugar. I crave sugar constantly. And this is no joke. This was my second client that came to me, and I felt really over my head. And everything I said to her, there was something that she couldn't do. So I had started SAFM right around then. Right now, it is more of a requirement that you have had a little more client experience than I had when I started. But one by one, we were able to undo everything. Within 2 weeks, her acid reflux was completely gone. Within a month, her rash was completely gone. And within 2.5 months, she was no longer diabetic. She was off all her medications. With the help of her physician, she weaned off all of them successfully. Within 4 months, we had done a stool test to figure out that she had an E. coli overgrowth 40 times over the top of the reference range. So I knew what to do for that. And her diarrhea completely stopped, which was a big game changer for her. And then within 8 months, her fibromyalgia pain was gone. So it's like, she came to me to lose weight. She lost 20 pounds, which was fabulous, but she got so much more, and she just raves about me now. She tells all her friends about me. So this is the power of what we're doing. And you guys have really good success stories too. I know Shay just told us a really cool one about the asthma with the kids she was working with. But I want Dainna and Jen to tell me. Dainna, you first. Give us a really good success story, or maybe just in general, what has been the greatest impact for your clients overall with what you do?
Well, I'm happy to share a success story because I love the success story, of which I could say many. I could cite many, but this is a favorite one because this was a gentleman that came to work with me who had asthma, lifelong asthma. He was a runner, and he had asthma that was impeding his ability to be active, be healthy. He was really struggling, and a variety of other symptoms. But because he's somebody who I'm going to identify, I don't want to share what those are, but a variety of other symptoms that we all see and we all well understand by the time a person reaches perhaps 60, and sometimes they're 7, but a body is out of balance. There are a couple of dysfunctions or dis-ease processes that are taking place. So it's not always that straightforward where you say it's just this one thing, right? Everything is commingled, everything is interconnected. In my company, excuse me, we have a tagline that says, everybody needs a health coach. And I truly believe that, because every human, as long as you live in a human body, you need some guidance, you need some education, you need to learn about the roadmap of you and the book of you, how you can figure out, with the help of a professional, to be able to say, oh, this, just like Jen and Shay both very well described. But this gentleman, we worked together, and after about 11 months, we reversed his asthma, his lifelong asthma. Of course, his doctor was amazed and enthusiastic, not just amazed, but excited and wanting to hear more about it, which is really a key point, because a lot of healthcare practitioners are in a broken system, and they are wonderful people who want to help their patients. So seeing something like this was wonderfully attractive in terms of saying, how did you do that? And each of us have those experiences. So that became a great partnership as well. But this gentleman became such a believer in the work that we did. He left his job, went to IIN, enrolled at the School of Applied Functional Medicine, and he works for my company now.
Amazing.
Amazing, right? I mean, mic drop. That's just amazing. And he was so excited and inspired, and so much about it, it really is, the greatest impact is it works. It works.
Yes.
That's it. And he, like I said, had all of these wonderful, healthy habits that he adopted, that he brought on board, that he knew worked for him, but just needed somebody to help him look at it through that functional medicine lens, and just to be able to interpret things a little bit. And that became his passion now.
I love that. What a great story. And I love that Dainna has such a successful practice that she's brought on other practitioners into her practice, other health coaches. So she does the initial intake, and then passes them on to her staff, which, you know, is a place where I am now. You know, I've hired people on, and a lot of our colleagues who have graduated SAFM as well are doing that model. So it's a great way to expand your business. And what an exciting story. I actually have 2 clients who have enrolled in the school. One was a nurse, and one was going to go to dental school, and her gastrointestinal problems got 100% better, and she decided that she wants to do what we're doing. So she's also a student at SAFM, and she's also becoming a naturopathic doctor. She's in school for that as well. So it's exciting when you can inspire.
Can I add
like
that, what you just
Sure.
said? Because I have to say, my oldest son, a couple of days after he graduated college, he turned around and he said to me, Mom, I think I want to go back to school, and I want to do what you do for a living, and I want to come work for you. And he works with me now too, which is just right. Look at Jen's face. I love that beautiful thing. But I love this story because, you know, and college is a wonderful thing. It's a great, you know, it was a wonderful learning for him, but wow, right? I mean, he was like, this works. This works. I hear what you tell us at dinner every day. You know, wow, people are getting better. People are learning. People are healing.
Isn't it amazing? And especially in today's environment too, with everything going on, people are looking to get their immune systems in order. People are saying to me, well, isn't your business dropping off with the economy? I said, actually, no, I have more people coming to me now than ever before. And it's mind blowing to me that my business has not dropped off at all. I mean, I think quite to the contrary, I have about 4 people the past 2 weeks that have added on and wanted to work with me. Jen, tell us about you. What about any great stories, great impact story that happened? Or I know you have many of them, but
I
tell
know
us what you got.
it's so hard to use. Like, even as I'm sitting here, I'm changing it like 10 times because they're all amazing. I mean, truly amazing. And being able to walk by someone's side as they turn their health around and they find that vibrancy that we all want in living is just beautiful. Well, I'm going to share my story of my very first client that actually prompted me to go to SAFM. And I had been working with her for a very brief amount of time, just in a health coaching, regular health coaching. And she said she had come to me and she wanted to get off of her statin, and her doctor had wanted her to go on metformin for type 2 diabetes. And she kept saying, no, I don't like the way the statin makes me feel. I don't want to do this. And she had come to me and asked me for help. And of course, you know, I, as a health coach, knowing the basics, tweaking her diet. But guys, this woman, I told her, I still keep in touch with her. She'll do like pop-in visits here and there. And this was quite a few years ago, but she was in her early 70s when she came to me. She still skied, hiked, and did regular yoga and worked as a massage therapist and meditated and did ate only organic foods. I mean, this woman was doing a lot of things right. So I'm like, how am I supposed to help her? I don't even know why she's like, this isn't your standard American diet, person not moving. So I signed up. I actually had, at the time I met you, Jodi, and I purchased my first course. This was actually even before I became a Core 101 student. And I purchased what was at the time Reversing Diabetes. And prompted by my encouragement by Jodi, I binged this course like as fast as I could. And I was very transparent with this client. And I said, I'm just starting this learning in this program. And would you like to be basically guinea pig? She said, of course, anything. And so I took the course and I applied everything that I learned with her. And she was all in, which was wonderful. I mean, we did need to tweak the diet and dial down some things, support certain areas of her health with targeted supplements. And I really, really truly came to understand what metabolic dysfunction is, and it's not just about sugar. So there were so many things that her and I dove into. And 4 months, it was in April, I'll never forget, because she called me and she was just like bursting with excitement to tell me that her triglycerides went from 296 to 91. I will always remember these numbers, right? And her hemoglobin A1C it was 7.3 and it went down to 6.1, which is still 6.1, right? Like we know, but that was huge. It's not like perfect, but oh my goodness. And her doctor became a convert because her doctor was really, really skeptical about that. She had given her 6 months. She said, I'll give you 6 months. And if not, I really need to stand by the medications. And she came to her doctor and her doctor said, okay. And it was beautiful because her doctor and I really have since become, have that partnership in that her doctor has sent people to me. If I would like to see more lab work on, these local clients and this client in particular, I mean, the doctor will write anything, which is amazing. So I love it. And that woman alone, then I did go forward and I dove into the deep end of applied functional medicine at SAFM. And I just boosted my confidence and in my ability to help people and my knowledge. And I just referrals, like they started to roll in and roll in and roll in. I mean, that one client has sent me so many clients over the years, and it's been really, really neat. And then those clients send you their friends and family, and that's how it spreads. That's how I grew from a very, very local practice to a virtual practice, because they might have a cousin who lives 6 states away. Now you work with that cousin, and you could see how it grows from there. So that's one of my very favorite stories, just because that's the story that propelled me to do what I do now. And I get all different kinds of clients who are very, very, very complex. Today, the clients that find me, they need somebody to hold that space and guide them along their path. And I've released the intimidation. I did for a while step into a place of really being intimidated and worried that I don't know enough. How can I help this person like you, Jodi, that client who, they have got 4 autoimmune dynamics and, 65,000 other things showing up in their body. And I'm very confident that I'm going to be able to help. And I might not be the one-stop shop, and that's okay. That's fine. But I can be a guide, and I can walk along their side, and I can help them also trust their own body. I think that's a big, big part of what we do, and find that hope, because when we're able to help someone relieve their acid reflux in a month, now they trust not only you, they trust the process, and they trust themselves. They trust themselves. So that activates healing in and of itself, right? So there's my story, my one story that really is representative of all the stories.
I love that. And I love that you mentioned the intimidation factor, because pretty early on, I had a physician come to me and want to work with me. And since then, I've worked with several physicians. And the other thing that used to intimidate me that doesn't anymore is people used to come to me that had already been to a functional medicine practitioner or 2 or 3, maybe a functional doctor usually. And I used to say, I'm a health coach. When I turned 50, I decided to become a health coach. It's like, this is, I don't have any medical training at all. And I used to get intimidated by that, but then I'd look at their labs. They had a ton of really great lab work, and I'd look through it and I'd say, well, what about this? Did the doctor do this? And they're like, no, they didn't mention that. What about this? No, the doctor didn't mention that either. And I'm able to, without getting any more lab work, just pick apart what they've already done and make some recommendations that have made profound changes in the people. And it's pretty amazingly exciting. And one thing I didn't even mention is I work with a lot of people with mental health issues too. I know people out there that like to work with that kind of thing. I know you guys do too, but reversing depression and anxiety almost every day. 1 out of 4 Americans is on an antidepressant, guys. That's a huge market. Reversing diabetes, 1 out of 4, or at least half of all Americans are at least insulin resistant, and probably more, a lot are pre-diabetic and diabetic. So you're talking about huge markets to work with, guys. There's no shortage of clients that are going to want to come to you. And so, so I just have the confidence that just like anything comes to me, I'm like, bring it on. I if I don't know it, I'll learn it. The school has the resources. I can look it up and find it. And it sometimes just amazes me so much. I just want to mention one other client that I worked with. Someone came to me with the autoimmune skin condition that Michael Jackson had called vitiligo, and doctors will tell you that condition is not reversible. And I was able to get major pigment back on this woman's skin within 8 months. She was so emotional, she couldn't even call me. She was crying so bad. And I became a little teary from it too. But since then, I've worked with about 45 people with that skin condition. I'll just show you really quickly. Here's one of my clients right here, a little boy, that's his knee on the right. And it's 5 or 6 months late, 6 months progress on the left, repigmentation. So it's so exciting when you can do things like that. And I have a lot of autoimmune skin conditions that I work with. It's near and dear to my own heart because I had an autoimmune skin condition of my own for almost 20 years that I'm in remission for now. But anyway, let's just close up, you guys. I don't want to keep people too long, and I appreciate you all coming on. But tell me a little bit about what specifically SAFM has done for your practice, Dainna.
Confidence, I know we all say it, and it's because it's true, but I want to add on to the confidence piece because for we as practitioners, we have to have confidence in the process, and having the victories, the success stories, builds on that confidence. And for the clients to have the faith in their bodies, because so many people, they do come to us after they've worked with so many other practitioners when they've almost lost all hope. And that can be crushing and heartbreaking. And then being able to hear them and see them and say, this works, you know, like, and getting, just like we've said, some remission, some success, being able to build on that. It is a beautiful process to stand shoulder to shoulder with them and say, let's learn about your body. Let's figure things out. And then some of these people just become so transformed that they have their lives back, that they are able to be, you know, the person in their community, their person in their family, their person in, you know, their relationship that they want to be, and they haven't been because all of these other disease processes have kept them down.
So life-changing, amazing. How about you, Shay? Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a game changer personally and professionally. I mean, personally being able to put my own asthma in remission, but professionally being able to do this for clients and so much more. I mean, I think the confidence, also just, it's so rewarding. It's such a rewarding profession, and to be making it happen and being able to make it financially viable. I mean, I know I was really struggling, and again, no discredit to IIN. It was great for the basics, but this just up-leveled me on multiple levels. And being able, last year was the first year ever that I took it from being a hobby, as my husband says, to actually a business, you know, and I hit my financial goals. I wrote down financial goals and I hit them monthly, and that was really inspiring. And again, guys, the rest of you are all like seasoned veterans, and I'm in my advanced 202. Like, I'm not even done with school, right? So, and I'm already like having referrals, and I'm not marketing, and people are coming to me, and I'm working with like Jodi said, there's a functional medicine, you know, some functional medicine practitioners in the area, and I'm getting those clients because, yeah, it wasn't quite enough necessarily, and no discredit to them, but it's just, I think what SAFM teaches is so well-rounded. Like, we really, and not only that, we get the support. So that was huge for me, because we have a functional form that's just for the students and alumni. And when you have a complex case, you can post it in there and get some feedback. I mean, you have to be very well thought out and do your own work, right? Because it's really applying that knowledge. But I think that's such the support, also with the huddle groups, also with the case studies, because we're applying it, and it's not meant to be applied necessarily straight away on your clients, but it's really, we're learning it through the case studies, and we have to, you know, Tracy makes us really, really think and work our minds to figure out, because it's not, we're not getting, this is A, this is what's happening, so you do B, C, D, right? Like, we're getting, this is A, and this is all the different things that can be happening, and this is how you have to look at it. So it's really case by case, because every single body is unique. So, I mean, it's just been, I mean, last month, I actually made, in 1 month, and I don't know that, you know, hopefully this will continue, but I made more money than my husband for a month, you know? So this is what can happen. It's phenomenal. Join. It's amazing, really.
All right, Shay, good for you. What about you, Jen?
Oh my goodness. SAFM has changed my life. I mean, truly, truly has changed my life. It's helped me take what was a dream and a little vision that God laid on my heart, to create a business for myself. You know, this is a complete career change for me. You know, my master's is in education. I was a teacher. I didn't come from a medical background. And yet I have always had a heart for helping other people, and I love for educating. And so when I started health coaching, I just like you, Shay, I mean, I wanted to do it. I loved doing it, but it needed to be more than a hobby. You know, this was me stepping back into a career to provide for my family. And SFM has allowed me to be able to do that. I mean, this is hands down, this is a career. I mean, this is serious income that I'm able to bring in and provide for my family. And right now, I mean, it's such a blessing that I have a virtual practice that, right, same with you guys. I mean, I'm bringing in clients. You know, I onboarded a new one last week, and I'm doing another one this week. And these are new people and who are coming, who are craving what we have to offer, the space, the ears, and I mean, honestly, the confidence that this has given me as an individual, and to own my worth and to own my skill set and the gifts that are unique to me. You know, I love interacting, and as Tracy uses a lot the term swim in the pool, like I love swimming in the pool with so many diverse practitioners, medical practitioners, and people from all different backgrounds, because I'm learning from every one of us. I learn from everybody, and this school has just been incredibly supportive. It's not just about educating and casting you out on your own. You know, I really, really feel from top down, that's Tracy, that's her heart and her vision and her impact, her desire to have an impact in this world, that she wants every single student successful. And you know what, I felt that from the day I was here. And you know, from going on retreats, I was lucky to go on a retreat as a one-on-one student back when they were even small. And I remember meeting you, Dainna, and you were a couple of years ahead of me, and you, Jodi, and I was like, I want to be like them. You know, just feeling that I do. I was like, I want to be like you. And so how can I continue to hold that for myself, and to trust the process, and to trust that you learn through repetition and repetition and repetition. And this school, it's just, it provides all of the clinical learning, but it's also provides so much heart and so much love and so much support. And in the years that I've been here, I didn't have huddles. You know, we didn't have that. We didn't even really have people monitoring the forum the way we do now. Like, it's just grown and grown and grown. And I feel very blessed. I feel blessed to be a part of it. I feel blessed to be part of the collective, really, in our mission to help others. We're not only like-minded, we're very, very like-minded people, but we're really, really like-hearted. And that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, there's that.
That's so well said, Jen.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I was in a similar situation. They do have retreats every fall for the school. You don't have to come, but they're so much fun, and they've grown so much. And I remember going on one, and back then you were allowed to go before you were a student. So I wasn't even a student yet. And I met Dainna, and I met some others that were just rocking their practices. I mean, here I was, IIN coach, doing free health histories. And my friends were like, well, they charge $600 for a health history or $500 for a health history. And I was like, how can you ever do that? I said, you can't, you know, I remember arguing with them, like, how can you charge that much? You can't do that. And I understand it now. And I have to say my health history is now $5.99. And then the monthly rate, I was charging $125 for 2 sessions, and finding out what everyone else was charging. I'm like, how do you do that? But in order to make a business and be able to work full time as a health coach, you have to charge, and you have to be worthy of charging what you're charging. And so the skill set that I have, and that we all have, makes it so that we can charge the money for the services. Of course, if you have someone who's struggling financially, you can always do a sliding scale, and, you know, work with people that need to be worked with that way. But it's great to make a living doing this. And I was able to quit my job after my first semester. Like Shay, I had a good amount of success with it, and it's just grown from there. I feel like I'm like in the top 0.001% of the people on this planet that knows how to get people healthy. So, and I know you guys are in the same boat. I mean, we have a skill set that very few people have. And we're so blessed to have the school. So I know I talked to you guys till I'm blue in the face about SAFM, but I just wanted to encourage you all, if you're thinking about it, the next semester starts April 13th, and the registration ends this Friday, April 3rd. So if you're thinking about doing it, now's the time to do it. If you're home and you're thinking of building your business, and you know you have some time to do this, the semester is about 7.5 months. You need 2 semesters to get the certification. It is a board certification in functional medicine. More than half the students are medical professionals. So you're going to be in with doctors and nurse practitioners and all kinds of great medical professionals too. So it's a really great mix. But Tracy's a health coach by background as well. So you're going to be in great company. She went to IIN as well. So it's taught in a way that we can all understand. You don't have to have a medical background to go to this school. And you're going to learn all the foundations of functional medicine between reading lab work and understanding it and being able to explain things to your clients, to supplements, having a really big understanding of supplements and nutrients. You're going to learn how to map your clients to figure out the interconnectedness. And then you're going to be able to customize your semester and choose, I'll show you guys really quickly, from this is the layout here. So you get all these foundational courses. But you also get to choose your deep dive clinical courses. So you can choose, you're going to get Disease Begins in the Gut 101 automatically, and then you can pick. So if you want to work on anxiety and depression, you can. If you want to work with hormones, there's lots of hormone classes. So you choose what you want to do. And then you get the puzzle piecing cases and the open coaching calls. These are designed to help you implement it. You get these live case studies. So the puzzle piecing cases, you get to hear Tracy doing an actual health history with an actual client of hers. It's a recorded session. And then you get a 2-hour webinar after on what she did for that client and how she got them better. So you learn real live cases, not mock health histories, but real health histories. These are live. You get 17 of these your first semester, where you or one of your classmates can volunteer to present a case study and go through it with Tracy, and everybody gets to ask live questions. You get the Q&A treasure chest, which we talked about earlier, where you can look up things and get answers. Same with the practitioner forum, which is the Facebook forum. And you get lots of bonus things like peer group huddles, where we're in a video conference, kind of like we're on right now, and lots of support. So just wanted to show you all that, and I hope you all decide to join us. Thank you all for joining me today. This has been fantastic. I think you probably inspired a lot of people to get into functional medicine. I hope you guys all consider it, and really thank you so much. And I hope everybody fares well and is healthy, and you know, wishing you guys all the best in the environment we're in right now. So thanks again, everybody. Do you want to say one more thing?
Really, really quick. But if anybody who's watching or listening to the recording of this, if you are like wanting to talk to somebody a little bit more, I know like I'm more than willing to hop on a call. I know that everyone here feels the same.
Likewise, yep.
Of course.
If you have any questions, or you really kind of want to know some of the more ins and outs and the details, like reach out, because we're all in this together. I mean, you guys, you're our people too. So
message Jen, absolutely, or message me. We are happy to help you, and you can drop your comments below in this thread if you have questions as well, so we can answer those too. But anyway, take care, you guys. Thank you all so much for joining me.
Thanks, Jodi.
Thanks, Jodi.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.